You're listening to the Ecosystem Approach show. I'm Jason.
And I'm Patricia.
We discovered that human potential is severely limited when you program humans like a machine, which is standard practice today for self-improvement.
The Ecosystem Approach teaches you how to uncover your infinite potential by using natural methods that are truly revolutionary. Join us now for the Ecosystem Approach show. Today, we're talking about keeping relevant with the rapid implementation of AI, or artificial intelligence. How do you keep your job? Or as a creator, stay effective as the implementation of AI becomes more mainstream? We have an exciting perspective about accessing your human potential that exceeds, one more time, that exceeds any benefit that AI has. In the last segment, we'll tell you a way to use refined intuition to get to what you need for yourself. Jason, what do we say that sums up the antidote of AI?
Well, it's to AI.
Okay, AI.
People think that, oh my gosh, AI is going to replace us. It's going to hurt us.
Right.
And this isn't just some optimism on our part. It's very clear, if you understand the AI technology at all, that this is the dilemma. And we're going to talk about that all during the show. But we've been saying this for like, what, 10 years, 15 years?
Okay.
And so here it is, okay? And this sums up the AI dilemma. We teach machines to be more like people and people to be more like machines. But infinite human potential is the result of making humans more human. And that sounds like such a radical statement, because we really believe there's a common misunderstanding that if you're efficient like a machine, you're better. You're being more evolved. When you go to work, a lot of places where you go to work, especially corporate 500, they want you there. They want to see you.
Yes, and they want to see you doing what? Working really hard.
They want you to look like you're working. Yes. You know,
wait, you just said it. There was a key. They want you to look like you're working,
because you can fake it. You know, it's stressful
right.
to fake it. And I know, we've been working for as long as we've been doing this work. It's like 25 years.
Yes, exactly.
We have 9 to 5. We don't punch a clock. But we try
occasionally I punch him.
We try to be creative.
Yeah.
And the creativity happens when it happens.
Right.
And we clear, so you have the creativity for shows and things like that.
Let's go back to this though. AI it suppresses so many natural functions. Like what, Jason?
Well, no, programming humans like machines suppresses natural functions. AI, it's clear that it's AI that has the facts and to regurgitate those facts,
right,
and to do search of huge body of knowledge.
Yeah.
I know that humans will ever be able to do that in the same way, but I don't think they need to. And we're going to be talking about how that works.
Well, okay. Most companies want people to be machines.
Exactly.
And that is that's not comfortable, everyone.
We've heard this so many times, and they want you to put everything aside and focus on your job. Now, the term professionalism is often code for stop it with your emotions and just do your work.
Yes.
And I realize that sometimes there are people that can be very, very emotional, and it can be disruptive in a workplace.
That's correct.
Sort of thing. But most companies want people to be machines. They want to just come in, sit down, do your work.
Well, in box, that's what you're talking about here. Yes.
And people who are successful putting aside their emotions and just working are losing their humanity and potential for human development.
Right.
This is unknown today because we think being like a machine is the best thing we can do.
Correct.
there's a direct line between the epidemic of depression and mental health issues of all kinds
Yes.
and making humans act like machines,
Yes. Oh,
treating themselves like machines, being machines.
right.
And we don't see that. We don't see that at all.
Exactly. So, Jason, how do you make humans be more human?
Okay. By treating them like an ecosystem, not a machine. That
Aha.
sounds too simple, and we're going to explain what that means. But the potential for infinite, that's the key word, infinite, where there's no limits to human development, is suppressed with programming techniques
Right.
that seek to control, manipulate, trick, or seduce you into doing things.
Okay.
These techniques suppress and numb and block your inner resources that are natural to you and is the pathway to unlimited potential. This pathway has been abandoned and neglected for hundreds of years. Most of us barely know it exists,
Yeah.
but it's where the nuclear potential lies.
Oh, okay.
People often ask us, "Well, what do you mean by program?" I don't understand that. And it's hard to describe, but and I found a quick way to describe it just
Okay.
recently.
Okay.
Um, when you take a word that's a statement of being,
Give me.
happy,
Okay.
having gratitude,
Okay.
being motivated.
Okay.
If I feel motivated, what we've done in our English language is change it into a verb. So if you
Meaning an
need,
action.
yeah, well, yes, if you need to be motivated, chances are you're programming yourself. If you need to activate the what do they call activate the attitude of gratitude,
Right.
that means you're being programmed. You're programming yourself.
Yeah.
What happens is, and there's nothing wrong with feeling gratitude, but we see, again, as intuition, as intuitives, and we see this is so obvious.
How we know this.
Yes, how we know this.
Okay. And is there scientific proof?
Not directly. Now, there's so much has come up in the last 5 years about how we live in a reality that even scientists are being able to prove at the quantum level
Yeah.
that
Yes.
that you can't measure. When you measure something, you determine its value. Not It doesn't have a value that exists beyond your observation of it, and that's not direct proof, but it's an indicator. And there's all these indicators all over the place in terms of science, but I'm not going to
Okay.
go there.
Okay.
I would say to you that it's available to all of us
Okay.
in the same way if you increase your level of intuition to see
Mhm.
the world as it is, not the way we're being programmed to see it.
Or to believe that it is.
Exactly.
Yes. Yeah.
You
And
know,
that's a real tough one for so many. Well,
and we know this
yes.
because we've had 25 years experience as intuitives
Yes.
and working with hundreds, even thousands of people over that time. And
Yes.
we can see that they have this potential, and what's blocking them is this negative energy that keeps them from developing their intuition. Now,
Or tells them that their intuition is not right.
exactly. Oh my gosh. You know, that people have thought we're guessing, or that we're not getting the right information, or
Correct. Correct.
and it's not that we're infallible,
Of
but
course we are.
we're pretty good. People come to us so that we can see the negative energy that's attached to them,
And help them with it.
as opposed because they can't.
Yes.
They know it's there, they just can't see it,
Correct.
and that's because they've been programmed.
Yes. So, Jason, what is the summary of this segment?
We are teaching humans to be more like machines, but infinite human potential is the result of making humans more human by using the ecosystem approach. It's a huge misunderstanding that being more machine-like makes you more effective and efficient. Programming yourself like a machine actually blocks the natural pathways to human potential
Okay.
and has always been available to all of us. In the attempt to make people more machine-like, we have collectively forgotten the pathways and natural abilities, and those abilities have become dormant for lack of use.
Exactly.
The way to restore these natural abilities is by using the ecosystem approach.
I absolutely love that. In the next segment, we're going to talk about the specific arenas of domination, or areas, excuse me, areas of domination that are required to create ultimate human development that everyone needs to have. In other words, we all need this human development so they can use AI for their benefit, not for their demise, because everybody's afraid something really bad's going to happen with
Yes.
AI. So, this is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to talk about the specific areas of domination that are required to create unlimited human development that everyone needs to have so they can use AI for their benefit, not for their demise. Jason, what is the key to dominating and creating unlimited human potential?
There are two bodies of intelligence and knowledge.
Okay.
The first one is your essence.
Yes.
Or what some people call soul. We don't even think about our soul. We don't have any
Well, we've been
idea.
trained not to.
We to focus on the goals.
Yes.
When you focus on the goals, you're not listening to your soul.
And you're not listening to yourself.
Yes, you're listening to someone else's idea of what you should have.
Should or shouldn't have. Yeah,
Yes, exactly.
Exactly.
So, your essence is the key to knowing what you want in the moment. All programming that says think this way or feel this or do would be unnecessary if you were constantly accessing your essence.
Correct.
Because you would just know.
Yeah.
Your essence knows who you are,
Yes.
and that unique being that you are contains unlimited potential to be who it is authentically.
Yes.
In other words, you don't have unlimited potential to be someone else. You have unlimited potential to be who you are.
To be and to become who you are.
Those natural qualities to expand.
Yes.
And everybody's different.
Yes.
And we don't understand that either. We want to make everybody kind of into little machines that are going all in the same direction.
Well, yes. And so what's the second body of knowledge, Jason?
The second body of knowledge is what we call the non-physical dimension. Now, this is where your essence is located.
Correct.
Essence, you can't touch it, you can't feel it.
Right.
The non-physical dimension is always there. It's always around us. I don't know if that's the most precise way of talking about it.
Well, I think it's pretty good.
But it's one way of saying it.
Yes.
But all solutions for the problems on Earth today reside there.
Meaning in your essence.
No, in the non-physical dimension.
In the non-physical dimension. Both. And your essence.
Your essence is your access to the non-physical dimension.
Right. Okay.
But all flashes of inspiration come from this place.
Right.
And flashes of inspiration are way too rare and unpredictable. You know, you hear these people, I just got this flash of inspiration and I wrote this song. Or I got this flash of inspiration
right. Sure, that's
and I was able to solve this problem.
Right.
But what if they didn't have to be flashes? What if you could kind of figure out a way to access that non-physical dimension on a regular basis just with your intention?
Well,
just to sit down and
you're having a conversation.
Yes, exactly.
With yourself.
Exactly. Or that body of knowledge.
Yes.
Think of the non-physical dimension as the biggest container of Google information.
I was going to say source of information. Yes. I love that part.
You know, AI, you push into AI and AI will give you ask it a question, it'll give you an answer.
Yes.
And sometimes it's wrong. We've
seen a few of those.
And if you look to the non-physical dimension for definitive black and white answers, you're not going to get them. But it has all the knowledge that you need for us to solve all the world's problems.
Yes.
So it's really powerful. It's like having access to an AI part that you don't even have to pay for. It's all free. It's all there available to you.
And I do want to say we have been trained through. It's not through the years. It's through the centuries that we are not allowed to use this information because the programming has been we're not, I'm going to use the word either sophisticated enough or know enough how to use it. And by the way, that is a true statement.
Yeah.
But little by little, that information or that access has been taken from us by negative energy.
And programming,
And
programming,
exactly.
which is a form of negative energy.
Yes, it is.
And we teach you using the ecosystem approach how to use that spot
Yes.
reliably.
I really, really, really like that. So, where are we at, Jason? Domination?
Yeah.
Okay, my apologies. Jason, talk to me about the domination over AI that is focused on soft skills development. What does that mean?
Those soft skills don't come from people acting like machines. The courses where those soft skills are taught, ironically, use programming techniques,
Yes.
which is exactly the worst way to do it. Okay.
Yes.
Programming is what suppresses soft skills in the first place.
Yes.
So soft skills that you need, like a foundation of need. So let me explain. Soft skills are one thing. The foundation you need for soft skills are empathy, intuition, self-knowledge, and emotional intelligence.
Correct.
If you train someone with those skills, they would learn like a robot. So they would say the correct words, but express these things, but they would not be authentic.
Okay.
And how many times have you called for customer service and heard, your call is important to us? Does anybody believe that?
Well, if you put yourself in that robot's shoes, the bottom line is it is important as long as you're going to pay money to get whatever you're trying to figure out.
The company is,
exactly.
But most people don't believe it. And when people say it, when you finally get to someone who's a real person,
yes,
what they say is often from a script, and that feels phony and insecure. Also.
Yes.
So human beings acting like humans is the key to the development of soft skills.
Well, and understanding about being human, we've also lost that ability.
So soft skills are like creativity, communication, adaptability, teamwork, leadership, conflict resolution.
Okay.
Problem solving requires a basic foundation. Here's the foundation again of empathy, intuition, self-knowledge, and emotional intelligence.
Okay.
And that's what we're talking about.
Okay.
Those things allow you to see a problem from other people's perspective, which can be really, really important.
Well, and you and I both deal effectively with customer service people by seeing an issue from their perspective, not just our own. And that's such a huge issue because most people believe that there's only one side, their side, and whatever issue they have, the person that's on the other end of that line, so to speak,
is the enemy.
Is the enemy and has no choice but to listen to you. I'm going to use the correct word here, complain.
Yeah.
And that isn't always the way to get what you need and want.
Well, and often I will say something like, well, I know this isn't your fault, but I'm really upset.
Or I'm really struggling with this issue I'm calling you about.
Even those times when the customer service says, okay, they send us the survey afterwards, they never ask you the right question.
No.
Is the company doing what you needed to do to be happy? No, the customer service person was fine. It's the company that's the problem, and there's rarely a place to put that in there.
Okay, so how is?
Sorry, that's my that's
good.
My complaint. That's my human complaint about customer service.
How is advice ever necessary, Jason?
Advice is often a form of programming. We see advice in two ways. It's designed to tell another person to be more like me.
Oh, okay.
Or to be more like an ideal.
Yes.
Or a programmed example of what a person should be in general. That's a machine. That's
Yes.
not you.
Yes.
Most advice doesn't say, I know who you are and this is what you should do because it
Right.
helps you be you. Most advice is just the opposite. And frankly, that's why we've been so successful working with individuals all these years, because we see our clients for who they are
Yes.
authentically,
Yes.
and we help them be more of that.
Yes.
And it
Yes.
just
Yes.
feels really, really good.
Well, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So, advice is rarely effective because of that. They see people of what they should be in terms of a machine, but not in
Correct.
terms of who they are.
Correct.
And be a robot like everybody else. We don't want people to do that.
Well, and by the way, when you're a robot, then you are more susceptible to negative energy. And
Manipulation.
exactly. I was going to say negative energy of things like manipulation and conning and
Or alternate programs that aren't very effective for you personally.
well, because it makes you see things only from the other person's perspective.
Experts will say you should do this.
Yes.
And that should comes from being a robot.
Programmed.
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. Jason, what is the summary of this segment?
Unlimited human development requires accessing one's essence and the non-physical dimension for knowledge and inspiration,
Yes.
both of which are subtle energies that are accessible via intuition. Soft skills such as empathy and intuition are critical and crucial for authentic human connection and problem solving.
Yes.
And need to be developed through self-knowledge and understanding. Most expert advice seeks to program a general versus uniquely natural in the way that we're designed. And the way you get there is using the ecosystem approach. And just very quickly, if this is speaking to you right now, if you're saying, oh my gosh, I want this. I don't want to be a machine anymore. I feel awful. And that's got to be why I feel that way. Or I'm depressed or hopeless, or I have no energy, or I'm not motivated. Go to our website right now, theecosystemapproach.org. Sign up for a free section. Go to our YouTube channel, The Ecosystem Approach with Jason and Patricia Rohn, and subscribe to our channel. We're going to keep talking about how you can have this amazing natural humanness back that you're designed to have.
Exactly. In the next segment, we're going to give some examples of how being authentic will help you as a creator and ways to use refined intuition that will explode your abilities as a creator. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason, and I'm Patricia. And in this segment, we're going to give some examples of how to be authentic that will help you as a creator, and ways to use refined intuition that will explode your abilities as a creator. Jason, programming has been normalized.
Yes.
Let's talk about it.
We are used to driving ourselves, pushing ourselves to do things. Many people can't even imagine doing it any other way.
Correct.
And instead of pushing yourself to see if you can determine, instead of pushing yourself, what you need to do, and this is how we do it, is determine what the energy is that's blocking you.
Yes.
So if you want to feel more grateful, the attitude of gratitude, instead of making yourself feel grateful, reminding yourself to feel grateful,
right?
Say to yourself, I have to feel grateful. See what's in your way energetically that's blocking you from being grateful, because we see it as a natural condition that human beings have.
Yes.
If they don't have negative energy attached to them. When they have negative energy, they're bitter and angry and depressed and hopeless. There's so many things.
Also, especially if somebody is creating something or trying to be creative or get through a situation, the very first thing I would clear would be fear.
Yeah.
Because fear of failing, fear of not being good enough, fear of being judged, those kind of things. And when you start clearing those things, some of the most amazing things happen when you start doing that, because all of a sudden, ideas can come in that will help you
Yeah.
to go, oh, if I did things this way or if I did things that way, it's pretty awesome.
So, we take this for granted. We've been doing it so many, we do it all day long.
Yes, we
What's
do.
in our way? What's the energies in our
Right,
way? And
right.
we're getting really good at seeing what's blocking ourselves. That's why
Yes.
people um, have sessions with us after 10 years of having sessions with us. It's not that they're not getting better. It's just that our intuition is better than theirs to see what's in our way.
Correct.
And you get really good at it.
Yes.
So, but program yourself over and over again the way you're taught in the world today makes that ability to see what's blocking you gets diminished.
Exactly. So, Jason, what is refinement of intuition?
The more clearing you do, you begin to get self-knowledge naturally. In other
Yes.
words, what keeps you from self-knowledge, it's innate to all of us.
Yes.
But what's blocked self-knowledge, and people don't understand how much blocks have been there,
No, not at all.
is this negative energy. Now, I know for both of us, we've been blocked since childhood
Oh, yeah.
with negative energy that's kept us from knowing who we are.
Yes.
And it's only since we've been doing the ecosystem approach, and we were in our 50s when we first met.
I'd love to say speak for yourself, but that's not true.
We were in our 50s when we first met, and we had no idea who we really were authentically.
That is correct.
And we were starting to get inklings of it. And you might have inklings over here, and I know this about myself, and I know this about myself.
Sure.
And all the personality typing that's out there now, unless you know how to use it, doesn't help you know yourself.
That is correct.
And
Yeah.
so that's where we were at.
Yes.
And you start to remove this negative energy. You see, oh, I've been programmed to believe these things about myself. They're not true. Oh my gosh.
And by the way, oftentimes that one's like, how did I not see that? Or why didn't I know this before? If I'd have known this 10 years ago, wow, the things I could have done. But I'm here to say you can still do those things. It might not apply to that particular situation anymore, but you can still, by using the ecosystem approach, you can become creative and aware and alive. And even, here's a big one, even retain knowledge well, I know it could be pretty rare these days, but reading a book. It's very interesting how when you start to remove negative energies,
You can
all
do
of these
things you couldn't do before.
naturally
Yes.
that are natural to you actually come forward. It's awesome.
Constant and consistency with clearing is the way that refines your intuition,
Yes.
but also heals your essence
Yeah.
and makes it available to use daily in all sorts of ways for your benefit.
And
I feel like it's always there with me. It's like I know it now.
yes.
It connects with me.
But it took a while to learn to know that
And it's not
and believe it.
exactly. It's not exactly a voice in my head.
No.
Sometimes it is, but usually it's like, I just know it's there, and the communication is mostly nonverbal.
By all means.
I just feel it.
Well,
And that's hard to describe. Each person's different.
right. But one of the things you and I say to each other, or I'll even say it to clients, is I just got this.
Yeah.
And information that came in about, I'm going to say when I'm working with a client, about them. And I've had a couple of people actually just recently say to me, I have been trying to figure out how to articulate that. How did you do that? Things like that.
Yeah.
Because I needed you to know the intensity or the grandeur of how I'm feeling about this situation or that.
Most people, and we see this all the time when people go to a therapist and they want to talk about your feelings.
Yes.
Most people have no idea what their feelings are.
No.
And we see that once you start doing the ecosystem approach,
Yeah.
you have the words, you start developing the words for
Yes.
saying, I feel hopeless today, or sad
Yes.
today,
Yes.
or unworthy today.
Right.
So,
all right. So, Jason, using avatars to navigate the non-physical dimension. By the way, everyone, this is kind of a new concept that it's not new to us, but we're putting it out there because it's time to understand how you can use your intuition to make you and your life better.
It's actually, I wish I wish I had sound effects.
Okay.
This is huge.
Yes.
And
Wait.
yes.
Okay, one of those.
An avatar, start with that, is a fictional representation of energy.
Say that again.
An avatar is a fictional representation of energy.
Okay.
It's a tool to use to understand intangible concepts that are energies.
Yes.
Some examples are success, motivation, likability. You could create an avatar for all of those things.
Right.
And so you could start to know, well, if I want to be more likable, I can have an avatar that talks to me
Yes.
about being likable. Or, today I'm grumpy and I don't know it. So the avatar is going to say, okay, you're grumpy.
Or the avatar will, in its way, tap you on the shoulder and say, hey, wake up and pay attention.
The way you speak to it, the way you connect with it is unique for every person.
Absolutely,
And
because it's part of you.
the more you remove the negative energy, the more clear that will be.
Yes.
But this is amazing. So let's keep talking about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Well, I was going to say, using avatars for research. Explain that, Jason.
If you're a scientist in a lab, or you're trying to find the cure for cancer or
Okay.
some other thing, you can create avatars for the different components of what you're trying to blend or put together.
Yes.
Or figure out,
Mm-hmm.
Why does this cell react this way? We'll get an avatar for those types of cells and then start talking to it and say, okay,
In other words, this is about communication.
in the non-physical dimension, or
Very
with your
good.
essence, and you're communicating in a way that is really powerful.
Okay, so avatars,
And this could be more powerful than any sort of AI will ever be,
absolutely,
now and in the future.
Yeah. So talk about avatars in marketing, Jason.
Oh my gosh, for a business tool,
Yeah.
you can create an avatar that represent market segments
Yeah.
and talk to them to see what they need in terms of offerings, what they
Okay.
prefer, what they don't
Okay.
like.
All right.
We're so focused on doing data,
Yes.
doing data surveys and things like that, but even those can be skewed
By
based
all
on
means.
programming methods.
Yes. So, well, let's talk about avatars for problem solving. I know we've touched on it, but
You can solve any problem by trying to understand the components of the problem.
right.
And you can use an avatar for that too,
Well,
and then create avatars for those different components.
correct.
And then have them talk to you
About it.
about their relationship with each other.
And I'm going to bring it back and say it the way I see it. It's very much the same thing, but the avatar, you can ask the avatar to go out there and look from what I call a 360 perspective, whatever the problem is. And that avatar can come back and say, have you thought about this? Do
Yes.
you see that? How about this? Have you, do you understand that? And it is one of the most amazing things ever.
It is. It will knock your socks off.
It really will. It's so awesome.
And remember, it doesn't speak to you necessarily in like an inner voice. It can.
Right.
I'm doing it all the time. I go to bed with a problem and I wake up and all of a sudden I know.
And
I
the
just know.
answer
I know
is
the
there.
answer.
That's
Yeah.
exactly right. So, Jason, what is the summary of this segment?
Programming ourselves like a machine is so much part of everyday life. It is difficult to see how to do it any other way.
Yes.
Instead of programming yourself, use your intuition and remove the energy blocks to keep you from your task. The refinement of intuition happens as you remove the specific negative energy that is attached to you.
Mhm.
There are no upper limits. Oh my gosh, there are no upper limits to how much
love
you can
that.
refine your intuition.
Mhm.
People think you either have it or you don't.
Not true.
With refined intuition, you can use avatars as representations of energies that you want to work with and understand better.
Mhm.
This is a critical skill to use with scientific research, marketing, and all types of problem solving. And
I have one more I want to add
Sure.
here. And this just, by the way, popped in, everyone. Refined intuition can help you understand you better. And when you understand you better, then you can deal with problems,
that are outside of
I
yourself.
was going to say all
Yeah.
the way around you. In other words, one more time, 360 view and understanding yourself will help you, because then you gain information that you need and want for you and your life.
And if you're getting this hit right now that, oh my gosh, I want to have avatars. I want to have refined intuition.
Right.
This is for me. Go to our YouTube channel, The Ecosystem Approach with Jason and Patricia Rohn, and subscribe to our YouTube channel so you can get this information.
Yes.
We're putting out more and more all the time.
Exactly. In the next segment, we're going to give some examples of how to overcome AI capabilities for creators and anyone concerned about being, this is huge, replaced by AI. This is the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia, and you're listening to Transformation Talk Radio. Jason, AI strengths and weaknesses, let's talk about them.
AI is the best capability to give information, to have a lot of information at its disposal,
Correct.
to work with facts in a logical way.
Yes.
It's not good at having empathy, the ability to create connection or relationships.
Sure.
And as a creator or anyone else, this understanding is the key to always being on top of AI displacement or being pushed aside.
Okay.
These skills are not soft skills. These skills are soft skills that we talked about earlier.
Yes.
That's what you need. It's funny because
Are you meaning empathy and
the foundation is empathy, intuition, and emotional intelligence.
Okay.
But then you get all these others
Of
that,
course.
of creativity and all these
Sure.
other things.
Sure.
But we just saw a video about schools in China using AI. This is
that's
like
right.
5 years ago.
Yes.
And it was interesting because they would they encouraged meditation. They had meditation as part of their curriculum.
That's correct.
But on the other hand, they had these monitors that they wore on their head.
Yes, and it told the AI when they weren't paying attention or couldn't focus or were struggling with a problem.
And they would get reports that got to the parents.
Yeah.
So if the kid wasn't paying attention in school, there would be a report that says, this kid's daydreaming. This kid is isn't paying attention, isn't focusing on its work.
Right.
And talk about creating a machine. That's why chances are people in the United States will always be more creative than people from China and any other educational system.
Correct.
Where you can bend and weave. And again, if you have a child and you want them to be the most creative, the most evolved, the most dominating AI in the world, have them do the ecosystem approach starting. There's no too young of an age.
There certainly isn't.
So
Jason, AI can't create authentic relationships. Boy, this is huge.
It is. It can copy or duplicates words of encouragement,
Yes.
like, "Oh, your call is important to us," but it cannot develop true relationships.
No.
A large portion of YouTube videos are how-tos.
Yeah.
We'll teach you how to do this. We'll teach you how to do.
And that's great.
That's great.
Yes.
The key to going forward as a creator is to develop a relationship with your audience. And we just found there was a couple of YouTube creators. This is what started this whole idea about this show.
Okay.
Was they were saying, hey, you can use AI now to basically follow you on the screen when you're trying to learn a new program.
Yes.
And you can ask it, well, how do I do this? I'm stuck here. How do I overcome this?
Right. I don't understand this.
That's an amazing tool.
Yes.
And they're saying, is that going to replace us? Well, not if you understand the basics of human connection.
Right.
And you might just do it differently. You might show them how to connect with AI so they have the technical stuff.
Correct.
But it doesn't help you, when you're trying to overcome feeling stupid, for example, or trying to learn a program,
Right.
or getting frustrated, or
Correct.
maybe there's concepts that are especially difficult to understand when you're learning software or anything else.
And by the way, I am proof right here that you can feel stupid about trying to understand how to do things different at a certain age because I wasn't raised with a computer, that's for sure. But the point that I'm getting at is that some of these new programs can really help you understand if you just ask the right questions, and we don't always know what those are, but if you just ask the right questions, then you can get the answers that you need.
By the way, how do you ask the right questions? Intuition, refined
go.
intuition.
There
So
you go.
here's the other thing, though.
Okay.
Having a pleasing voice and personality.
Right.
You know, I'm going to be really honest, brutally honest, that when we're on YouTube all the time because we're learning all this software right now to
Right.
help with this channel. But there are some people that I don't like their voice.
No,
I
true.
don't like their personality.
Yes.
They, you know, and I usually find someone who I do like, and you know,
And exactly. And it makes a difference.
and it's very subjective for me personally, you know.
Yes. Yes.
So when you can, this idea of creating a pleasant voice and personality is kind of unknown to us. People think you either have it or you don't. You have that
Right.
charisma, that
Right.
attractiveness,
Well, yes.
but it can be created, and it's an energy.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
you know, here we go.
Okay.
I've talked about TurboTax, you know, they say, way to go, you're almost done, that sort of thing, you know, and I know it's fake. And, you know, for the first year it was kind of nice. Second year was not too bad.
Right.
But third year said, I'll give me a break, you know.
So did you finally figure out that it was all programmed?
Well, I knew it was all programmed, but
Okay.
it's almost become ineffective because, you know, I've heard it before and
Correct.
I know where it comes from.
Right.
But I realize this raises the bar. People are saying, "Oh my gosh, I have to have a more pleasing personality. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, I have to connect with the audience. I'm not used to doing that. How do I do that?"
Right. And not all personalities connect with audiences or even one person easily.
And by the way, hello. If you've been programmed all your life,
There you go.
people that are highly programmed and are effective at being programmed usually struggle with this part.
Right here. That's right.
And it really makes it much more difficult.
So, Jason, and we're doing things a little bit different in this segment today, but Jason, what is the summary of this segment?
The key to overcoming AI is by using human traits of empathy, compassion, creativity, and bringing forth your human attractiveness, likability, and personal connections.
Correct.
When humans today try to compete with AI with facts and data or memory or recall, they will lose.
Yes.
The way to dominate the AI space is developing and refining the energy attached to you using the ecosystem approach, because that creates those innate qualities that are natural to you, that are easily developed.
Yes.
It's time for you to pull ahead of AI by being human.
I love that.
And if you got goosebumps up and down your spine right now, if you're just feeling it all inside your body, go to our YouTube channel right now, The Ecosystem Approach with Jason and Patricia Rohn. Subscribe to our channel. Go to our website, theecosystemapproach.org.
Yes.
And sign up for a free section. You won't be sorry.
Yes. And the other thing is have a friend join you at the same time.
Exactly.
This is something that you and a friend can learn to do together, and you'll make a huge difference in your life.
So we're going to talk about how to work with the energy, and clearing is what we say.
Right.
So it's very simple. Stand, sit, no posture is necessary.
Correct.
When we say to eliminate in your mind's eye, take those feelings, veils and illusions, barriers, and blow them into the processor. Nat's going to put up a picture of the processor now, and it's that simple.
Yes, and in a minute I'll talk about life force. So let's do.
We're going to do two clearings. Here we go. I direct all my resources in all dimensions to eliminate any resistance to seeing my own programming that is interfering in my life. Take a breath. And to eliminate the veils and illusions so I can see that my true and unlimited potential comes from me being more human, not more like a machine.
Take a breath and throw out any negative energy that's keeping you from a 360 view to see your resistance, and a 360 view to see that you actually have unlimited potential right now. Take one more breath. Now, we're going to activate life force. We're only going to do one today, but we're going to activate life force. Follow along. I direct all my resources in all dimensions so I can activate life force so that I can trust myself in ways I never had by removing the negative energies that are attached to me right now. Take a breath, pull in that life force energy, let it go to the tips of your toes and have it come back up. Pick up any other negative energy and throw it away. Throw it in the processor. Always throw that negative energy in the processor.
So this is what we know as intuitives.
Okay.
There are some people that'll listen to this and they won't get it. It'll be they've been so programmed they're not going to see things from any other perspective. So if you get that sensation, that buzz, that little inkling today.
Well, one of the things that happens for me is my feet tingle.
Yes. So here we go. So go to our YouTube channel, The Ecosystem Approach with Jason and Patricia Rohn, or the ecosystemapproach.org, which is our website.
Yes. Come and join us, everyone. And like I said, bring a friend. We'll connect next week, Monday at 1 p.m. Pacific and 4 p.m. Eastern Time. This is Transformation Talk Radio, and you're listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia.
Living like an ecosystem is the key to a better life for you.
Thank you for listening to the Ecosystem Approach Show with Jason and Patricia. I'm Patricia. Tune in every week as we discuss practical ways to apply the ecosystem approach and develop your potential to live your life on your terms. For more information, visit our website at theecosystemapproach.org.